postmasters. In 1848, Phineas Gage suffered a major brain damage during an accident. He was an employee of a railroad company, and he was considered to be their best foreman. His friends told us that he was a well-respected man, very diligent, with strong willpower. His doctor said he had an iron will and iron frame, meaning very good health. Unfortunately, one morning in September, the explosion happened, and it happened too quickly. They tried to clear road for the railroad construction, and some of the iron pieces hit his brain, pierced his cheek, and took part of his scalps all over the area. So he was on the ground, and you probably could imagine he was dead. But he wasn't dead. He was actually conscious, and his coworkers took him on a little cart to the nearest hospital, where the doctor tried to patch his face, his scalp, with these little areas in his brain and back, and in 2 months he was fine. At least it looked so. He said he didn't have any pain, he felt good, he went back to work. However, his friends couldn't recognize him. Instead of this diligent, responsible man who was always on time and doing everything he was supposed to do, he became somebody with animal instincts. He would do whatever he wanted, he would argue with people, he would always follow his desires. So his friends said it wasn't the Gage anymore, it was a totally another man. This case shows how one area of our brain that was damaged in this accident is especially important for our willpower. This iron piece that damaged Gage's brain also destroyed his willpower because it destroyed this prefrontal cortex, area of the brain responsible for this. None of us has been in this horrible accident, but many of us experienced similar effects when we were distracted, drinking, or under stress. We all had challenges with our willpower. So how can we, so why was this prefrontal area of our brain developed? It is the most recent upgrade of our brain, and evolution added it for a specific reason. I want to take you to 100,000 years ago, when we were modern humans, finally. So we could talk, we could walk, and we had our tools. However, we had to find a way to live in this new community of tribe. We cannot just go and steal somebody's bison burger or somebody's maid, or just tell somebody that they look really fat in these iron clothes. We had to be very careful, and we had to show some kind of areas of self-control to achieve our goals and survive as an individual in this tribe and as a tribe in the whole. That's why willpower as a human instinct was developed. And it's a very human thing, because your dog would never save a bone for the retirement. And right now, it distinguishes some humans between other humans, because people who have willpower nowadays, which is very strong and developed, are usually much more academically successful. And it's a better prediction of academic success than even IQ. People who have good willpower live longer, they have happier lives, better marriages, they are more effective leaders. So it's a very important quality to have if you want to have a very successful and fulfilling life. So if we have all this instinct built by us by evolution, why is it so difficult for us to resist the temptation of eating another cheesecake piece? The reason is we all have one brain by two minds. Revolution doesn't build from scratch. It usually builds upon something that was there. So we all have our primitive instincts in us. So this is one mind that has your desires, or fears, disgust, and another mind that is full of self-control. However, both of them are very important. One patient had a brain surgery which was unsuccessful, and areas responsible for fear and disgust was damaged. So this person stopped taking any showers, was feeding herself till she was incredibly full, and she was even making sexual propositions to her relatives. So all of these primitive instincts are very important in the self-control mechanism as well. So how can we make a better usage of our willpower? The number one rule is self-awareness. When we are distracted, we are much more likely to order frappuccino from Starbucks instead of iced coffee. We are much more likely to select a chocolate instead of fruit in some study when the children had to memorize phone numbers, etc. So it's important to understand very early signs of different instincts that might lead us to our willpower challenge. So self-awareness is extremely important. Number 2, train your brain. For many decades, it was considered normal that our brain would stay the same throughout our life, or maybe it would even deteriorate over time. However, the most recent research shows that we can train our brain. The more we do something, whether it's juggling or cooking or trying to memorize some numbers, the better we become in this. So the gray area in our brain becomes bigger and much more effective when we do certain exercises. Same with willpower. So you could try to have your willpower obstacle course and put your martini glass close to your exercise machine, or you can put a picture of your high school sweetheart who's married on your fridge, do something else. You could also do the wheel obstacle course and do a lot of exercise, etc. But a better strategy is to meditate. So research shows that just a few minutes of meditation would help you with all your willpower challenges by simply increasing the blood flow to your prefrontal cortex and building more gray matter there. And finally, willpower miracle. There was a study that was conducted by Odin and Chang. And in this study, the participants showed better focus, better self-control, better eating habits, cutting on alcohol, drinking, etc. So everything miracle. So how can you get the prescription? It's actually very simple. You just need to exercise. So even 5 minutes of exercise a day will help you be not only stronger, but smarter, because it increases brain and wide area within your brain. You become much better at this. In conclusion, I wanted to say that we cannot control many things in our lives. However, willpower can help us do this. Willpower is like a muscle. The more exercises, the better you will be. But don't try to run marathons because you can exhaust it. So be self-aware, meditate, exercise, and you'll have a much better life. Thank you.